Welcome back to Sam's Crazy Tarot World. This is number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. And the imagery here is fairly simplistic, actually, even compared to the original card in the deck, which does have the star, either 6 or 8 points. And it has the 4 different elements or the 4 different representations of constellations around the outside. Usually a serpent descending. The funniest thing to me about this card is that I don't like it. I mean, aesthetically it looks nice, but I actually feel like it's too simplistic for me. Somehow, because the imagery isn't complex enough, it's not good enough. That's just me being weird. There is an 8-point star at the centre, which is a representation of something like Ishtar, a mother goddess. 4 circles, which are connected together in a rectangle. Got the idea with that of like squaring the circle, even though it's not quite a square. And then around the outside are 4 objects. I didn't know what they were at first when I was drawing them, but I think they are sistrums, which is a musical instrument they used in Egypt and used for religious ceremonies. And above the sistrums, or between them, there's another circle, one on either side. And sort of coming at the top of or around the edge of each of the sistrums, it almost looks like there's a little creature. I think the one that we can see on the far right here, upside down, actually looks like a newt when it's around the right way, like the head of a newt. And then on the other side, the one that's upside down actually looks like the head of perhaps 3 owls. So I guess the sense here is that in somehow using these sistrums, the vibrations between 2 created something new, like an alchemical process that would create a new element or something similar. Right at the top in the middle of the image, there's this sort of square rectangular type shape in 2 circles. I actually feel it looks a bit like a bath. And there is this idea of the mikveh in Judaism, ceremonial bathing for purity. I guess a sarcophagus and a bathtub probably look quite similar, which relates to like death and rebirth, washing away the old self. And burial is QRS or QRST, which you could imagine would sound a bit like Christ, especially if you slipped over the soap and landed in the bath. There's just a close-up on one of those circles. Looks a bit like a portal on a boat. There's another one. I think that looks a bit like a letter C in the middle, but it could also be a P. I'm sure there's other symbolism in there as well. If I was to pull this card for myself today, I would say that actually this is making me think a lot of stability, safety in that structure, even though it could be over what is troubled waters, because those symbols at the bottom look a bit like waves. The water waves and air waves with the music, the sistrums. There's also something about listening to music or new music. Excuse to buy some tickets for a concert. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe.